Good morning. Welcome this morning. I hope you had a good night. I feel like I'm not at all level, but that's okay. Find your sit bones, get the wiggles out, feel into your body. Where do you feel tight today? Where do you feel that yoga will benefit you today? Where do you want it to benefit today? Some intuitive movement. Intuitive movement just means to move how you feel like you want to move at the moment. Little stretches, little twists, little moves. Buzz off the mic. Lengthen tall through your spine. Come into your breath. Close your eyes and flip your hands over on your lap so that the palms are up. Turn your head side to side a little bit, kind of up and down and around, and just imagine that you got that head balancing right on the top of your spine. If you've ever played with a top where you spin it and it spins on its very tip edge, imagine that your head is balancing up on that edge with very little effort so that your neck is soft, and allow that softness to come down into your shoulders. You're not forcing your shoulders forward or back, but just allowing your arms to hang from your torso. Your fingers are soft. Back of the hands relaxed on the thighs. Imagine the sides of your body soft, sides of your torso. You have a little bit of engagement of the abs to help keep a tall spine. Your back is soft. Your glute, hamstring, nestled into the chair. Your thighs are soft. Your calves are soft. And your feet are nestled softly on the floor. No added pressure. Survey your softness, your breath. Feel as if there's very little effort on your part. Slowly drop your chin forward. Feel the weight of your head roll forward. Feel how that weight forward affects the back, affects the belly, the chest, the shoulders. Just by dropping your weight of that heavy head forward. Slowly roll your right ear over to the right side. Stacking the ear over the right shoulder. Feel how that affects the left shoulder, the left upper back, the left chest. Imagine a rubber band stretching from the bottom of your ear all the way down to the top of your shoulder, right at the end of the clavicle area. Begin to tuck your chin and roll it back to center, pausing at center. Start to roll to the left, stacking your left ear over the left shoulder. Feel the effect of the weight on the right upper back, right chest, right neck. Feel the rubber band of your muscle from back behind and under your ear, blade down and out to the top of your shoulder. Maybe you feel it at the top of your upper back. Begin to tuck and roll back to center. Soften your shoulder blades down your back. Tuck your chin into your voice box, into your throat. How does that change the stretch in your back and in your neck? And then relax the tuck and just let the head hang. Tuck the chin in nice and tight to the voice box. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck and upper back change. And then relax and let the head hang. Slowly stack individual neck vertebrae to lift the head, one vertebrae at a time. Bring the head right back onto that top tippy point. Turn your head from side to side, keeping it balanced on that tip. All the way to the right, nice and slow. All the way to the left, nice and slow, back and forth. Go as far as you can until you feel that stretch in the upper back, down the back of the neck. Maybe you feel it a little bit in the chest and the front of the neck. Depends on where your tightness lies. Mine is in my back. Pause with your head facing to the right side. Take your left arm up at shoulder level, open it out to parallel with the floor, wide fingers, palm facing forward, elbow soft. Just draw the shoulder back behind you on the left side. Stretch all the way down the bicep, down the forearm, wide finger. And I want you to start to raise that arm with the leading with the thumb. Stack that arm right up over the top of the shoulder, and then take it all the way back down. Leading with the pinky, bring the pinky down into the hip. And start to take that arm back up. Elbow is soft. Stacking that arm right over top of the shoulder and back down to parallel with the floor. Relax your fingers, relax your elbow, relax your shoulder. Lay the back of your hand back on the thigh, bring the head forward. Take the head left. Make sure the shoulders and hips are stacked back up on top of each other. Lift the right elbow, hand, wide fingers, palm facing forward. Press the shoulder back in space slightly, soft elbow. Stretch down the bicep, front of the shoulder, forearm, fingers. Start to lift that arm overhead, stacking the shoulder it up over the top of the shoulder. And then slowly back down. All the way down, leading with the pinky. Pinky comes into the hip or side of the chair. Back up, lead with the thumb. Elbow remains soft. Stack the arm right up on top of the shoulder. Then come back down to parallel with the floor. Press the arm back. Relax the elbow, relax the fingers. Bring the arm back in. Back of the hand on the thigh. Bring the head forward. Take a nice deep breath using both arms. Inhale up. Swoop the arms up. Lengthen through the belly. Exhale down. Again, nice big breath. Inhale up. Lengthen tall. Reach tall. Stay tall and exhale. Shoulders down. Inhale, reach, lengthen up. Shoulders lift. Exhale, shoulders come down. Keep that space between your shoulder and elbows. Shoulder and ears, sorry. Imagine you're holding a box overhead, wide fingers. You're going to bring that box to front body. Keep the shoulders in place, just rotate. Keep the shoulders away from the ears, take your box back up to the ceiling. Bring your box back down. Trying to keep the hands the same distance apart. Take your box back up. Bring your box back down. Keep the hands the same distance. Flip your hands to face the ceiling. Elbows are soft. Keeping the interior part of your elbow facing the ceiling. Your little divot on the inside. I want you to flip your hands back to face each other. So your arms have not, the upper arm area has not moved. This is the wrist. Then flip them to face back up. Flip them to face each other. Flip them to face up. Face each other. Face up. And bend your elbows, bringing that tray into the body. Open out thumbs. Come back into the belly with your pinkies. Keep the hands flat. You're holding trays with your hands. Open up, lead with the thumbs. Come back in to the belly. Open up. Pause. Draw the shoulder blades together and back. Take the shoulders down and back. Squeeze as if you're trying to hold a quarter between your shoulder blades. Maybe a quarter is too small. Maybe think of a ping pong ball. Squeezing between your shoulder blades. Lengthen through the heart. Bring the heart up slightly. Shoulders down. Drop your head forward. What did that do to your upper back? Bring the head back up. Lower the heart. Release the shoulders. Release the fingers. Release the hands. Shake them all out. Good stuff. All right, we're going to bring your chair in front of you with the back of the chair facing you so that it can be kind of right in front of our body as we have our legs a little bit wide for some of the warrior positions. So I'm not going to put mine in front of me or you won't be able to see what I'm doing. But if you stand with your feet about chair width apart to start, have the chair directly in front of you. I'm going to back up a little bit because it seems like my camera's a little close. All right. Bring this back. All right. Hip width about chair legs apart, or you can do the W and have your ankles under your elbows. I want you to take your right toes, or you can mirror image me and do your left toes, but I'm going to be talking with my right and left. And they're going to face the short end of the mat. My left leg is going to face the long end of the mat. My hips are going to stay as far forward as possible without wrenching the knee. So make sure the knee is comfortable in this position. Have your right heel in line with the left instep on this side. Push those around, face forward, peek through the shoulder here and see that big toe. I want you to bend your knee, keep an eye on that big toenail, and then come back. If you can see yourself in your camera or mirror or whatever, don't let your knee go past your ankle. That's part of keeping an eye on your big toe. You can't keep an eye on your big toe because there's too much up here. Imagine that knee going straight out from your shoulder, bending and straightening. If you feel like you can go way out there and you have the flexibility, then you can also open yourself up wider as well. Go as wide as you feel comfortable and stable. Use the chair in front of you to hold on if you need to. Make sure that you're lined up with your feet. Bring the knee out and in. If you feel like you've gone too wide, back yourself off and in. Bend and hold. Keeping your chest facing forward, your hips facing forward. Feel an inner thigh stretch. Take the palms up in front of you. Elbows close. Take your thumbs out, just like we were doing seated, and bring them in. We're going to try to ignore our legs at the moment and strengthen them. Open up and in. If you need to hold on, do one hand at a time. We're going to do opening and closing a couple times. So you can do one on each side, switching sides. Pause with them open to the outside. If you need to hold on, use the back hand or the one with the straight leg. Straighten out your arm, the soft elbow. Palm is up. If you're not holding on, you can try for both. We're going to do, imagine that we're disconnected from here down. And if you're holding on, we're going to reach with the front arm. We're going to switch. Reach with the back arm. Switch. Reach. If you want to try your hand, reach. And reach. Reach. One more on each side. Straighten your front leg. Bring your hands to your hip. Take this foot and bring it to face forward. Hinge at your hips right here. Butt goes back a little bit. Hold on to the chair. Just push the butt back in space. Get a little back of the leg stretch. Scooch the chair away a tiny bit if you need to. Opening up through the hamstrings, the hips. Bring your hips back up. Switch your feet the other direction. Toes face this end. These toes face that end. Hips open to the front. Careful of your knee. Make sure you're lined up. Chest is open forward. And just go through some bending and straightening. Warming up the inner thigh on the right, or if you're mirror imaging me, you're doing left. You may be able to go wider on this side, or you may have to come in narrower, depending on the flexibility of the hip, of the knee. It'd be nice and comfortable peeking down and looking at that toe. If you need to keep an eye on it. Part of looking at the toe also is you don't want your knee to come forward when you bend. You want your knee to be right up over the top of the ankle. I'll turn this way for a moment. So you want to keep that knee and that ankle tracked right over each other. You don't want the knee to go inward. You don't want the knee to go too far outward. You need to stay right up over the top. Put my hand on my knee so you can see it better. Go right up over the top of the ankle as you open and close. If I go to the inside, I can see that my hand is not over my ankle. Keeping that tracking will help keep that knee socket healthy. Keep that, your patella, if you still have your patella, if you haven't gotten a knee replacement, keep all of that tracking right nestled between the bones like it's supposed to. Okay. And bend it and hold. And try to ignore our legs. Squeeze through your glutes, engage through your quads, stabilize your posture, lengthen from tailbone to crown. Hold on if you need to. You can do one or two hands. We're going to alternate if you're going to do one hand at a time, opening and closing. And opening and closing. Opening. You can change hands if you need to. Hold on with one. Open and close. Switch. Open and close. Whatever you need to do. Breathe. We're building endurance in the legs, building some strength in the legs. Hold the arms open. Bring them up, or one. You can do one at a time. You're going to reach over the knee, come to center, reach over the straight leg, come to center, alternate if you need to. Whatever works out best for you. Peek over that knee, make sure it's still over that ankle. It's not starting to dive forward. As it gets tired, it starts to dive forward. Come back to center, lengthen up tall, relax your hands, straighten your knee, bring both sets of toes to face forward. Push the chair maybe a foot away from you so you can hold it out here a little bit further. Hinge at your hips, chest comes forward, hold on if you're needing to hold on. Hands can come to the hips. Imagine opening up the glutes and the hamstrings. If you had a zipper down the back of your upper leg, imagine that unzipping and opening up. Squeeze through the glutes, squeeze through here, soft knees, root through the feet, draw the belly in, breathe, and come back up. Heel toe, walk yourself together. Hold on if you need to. Shake out those feet, tap them on the floor, whatever feels good. And relax. We're going to do a few forward bends. So if you want to use the chair for the forward bend, you can either take your forehead to the chair, you could take your elbows to the chair, or you cannot use the chair at all and do a forward bend as far forward as you feel comfortable. So listen to your body today, whichever version you need to do. Stand, if you're using a chair, stand 4 to 6 inches away from the chair. Feet were directly underneath your hip sockets. Shoulders right over the hips. Lengthen through the whole body on the inhale. Inhale up. Little upper back arch. Swan dive forward. Put your hands or arms, head wherever you need to, or let them hang. Relax your neck. Let it hang. Soft bend in the knees. And then I want you to flatten your back. Lift your head and shoulders up so you have a flat back. If you're using the chair, you can have your hands on that. If you're not, you can have your hands on your thighs or your shins. And then exhale, round back over. Inhale up to a flat back and draw the shoulders down your back. And exhale back down. Inhale up to a flat back, belly pulls in, lengthen through the crown. Exhale back down. A lot of stuff to remember in a half lift. Inhale, half lift, lengthen, exhale back down. We're going to come all the way up this time. Bend your knees a little bit. Inhale all the way up, squeeze the butt. And exhale, relax. Shake it out. Let's get ourselves to the floor, and we're going to start in a seated position. I know you really want to get down. We're going to start seated. And make sure you have your strap nearby. Work yourself to the floor. I'm going to face you. Get a little bit more hip love today. So we're going to take our feet out in front of us and our knees are bent. And we're going to rock side to side. So you're going to roll over onto your right hip and drop your right and left knee down. Feet kind of stay in the same position. You just roll up on the edges. And then you're going to walk yourself to the other side. Just back and forth. Use as much support back with your hands back behind you as you need. Or if you want to challenge your balance and your abs, you can leave your arms up and go side to side. I have a tendency to walk with this. What I mean by that is as I go back and forth, for some reason, I have a tendency to get closer to the camera. unless I use my hands and lean back. Then I can kind of lift my butt and keep it from walking. But when I don't use my hands, I walk across the floor with my butt cheek. I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's a party trick. Just rock back and forth. And as you rock back and forth, come forward with your torso to each side, a little bit more each side. You'll feel the stretch in your glute on the one on the floor. You might feel it on the inner thigh. You might feel it on the outer thigh. Feet are relaxed. This is kind of a version of flopping like we do on our back. This gives you a little bit more stretch through the glutes, through the thighs. I want you to pause over on the right side, or you can mirror image me and be on the left. I want you to take your hands out in front of the knee and the ankle. It doesn't really matter where this shin is. You can pull the knee in close to the body. You can take it out a little bit. Find a spot where it's comfortable, not only for your hip, but for your knee. But have your hands out in front. Think of rooting your tailbone down, pressing your tailbone down and lengthening through your crown. And the hands are there for support. Lengthen through the body. Breathe. Make this back part long, nice and long. Think of down with the back, up with the head. Stretching through the vertebrae. Breathe. Then relax the hips, relax that stretch in the hips. Feel yourself roll forward slightly and walk your hands out as far as you feel comfortable. Now, you may not want to go very far. You may want to go to your elbows. You may want to use a block or a pillow and put your head on it. You may be able to go completely flat out. I got too much business in here to go completely flat out. I feel like it squishes my breath when I go flat. So sometimes even if you have the flexibility to go flat or go all out, it doesn't mean you need to, because if you're not breathing still, you're sacrificing form. Going all out is not always the best. When you're ready, walk yourself back up, all the way up, and then rock yourself a couple of times side to side before we do the left side or the opposite side. And pause on the other side. Situating yourself, hands come out in front of the shin and knee. Working on getting the hand placement, the shin, the knee, make sure the hip and the knee are both in a comfortable position. And then work on pressing down into that tailbone and lengthening through the crown. Draw the belly in. Go down with your hip. I mean, this upper hip, which is my right hip, that sit bone is not going to touch the floor. But I'm pressing like I'm yearning towards the floor. Does that make sense? I'm rolling onto the back part of my left tail or my left sit bone. Lengthen through the crown, draw the belly in. Breathe. Hands are just there for support. Relax your hips. Allow yourself to feel yourself roll forward on your right tailbone. And then walk yourself out as far as you feel comfortable. Using blankets, props, blocks, whatever you need. Keeping your breath. Allowing your belly to relax onto your thigh. allowing your leg to support you. Gently use your arms to press yourself all the way back up. Engage the abs off of the thigh. Lengthen all the way up. Come to face forward between your legs and take your legs out and open. Comfortable distance open. They don't have to be way open. Feel comfortable in both hip joints. Pull your excess booty up so you can sit on the forepart of your sit bones. So when I don't pull my excess booty up, I feel like, your sit bone, imagine your sit bones being a tennis ball. I feel like I'm rolling back onto my sit bones. When I pull my excess booty up, I feel like I roll forward onto the sit bones slightly. And it helps to keep me taller, keep me from rounding the back and having my legs out in front of me and having this kind of a posture. So lengthen up tall, grab your strap apparatus, whatever you're using. Keep your torso centered between your legs and lasso your right leg. Or left if you're mirror imaging me, I guess. Lengthen tall. Hold both strap ends with the right hand only. Lengthen from sit bones to crown. And just by holding that strap on that one leg, do you feel more stretch in the back of that leg, the back of that thigh? Keep your knee micro bent. Soft flexed foot. Bring your left arm in front of you, palm facing to the right side. Deep breath. Exhale and start to open up to the face, the left foot. Open up the left arm to the left side. Breathe. Come back to center. Torso, arm, all leads, and back down. Relax the strap and switch sides. Shake out your legs if you want to take a break. Now's the time. Shake them out. Lasso the other side right in the instep. Use the same arm, same leg, lengthening through the crown. You're allowing the one you just used to relax. You're flexing the one in use, keeping a knee micro bent. Root through the sit bones, lengthen through the crown. Flexing that foot. Actively bending this knee just a tad bit keeps the thigh active. Bring the right arm forward, deep breath. Exhale, open it to the side and start to rotate chest to face the opposite foot. Arm comes all the way out to the side. Take a couple of breaths. Slowly come back forward. And relax. Release the strap off of that leg. Shake them out. Close the legs in. Lasso both feet. All right, so you can have them all in one hand or have them in individual hands. Micro bend the knees first. Little tiny bend. Flex the feet. Toes straight to the ceiling. Lengthen through the crown. And then I want you to draw on the strap, pulling the strap towards your torso, keeping a tall spine. You're not trying to come forward with your torso. Keep your torso, your nice L shape. But pull on that strap, even though you're not getting anywhere with it. You're not pulling forward. You're just pulling, making it nice and taut. Breathe. Shoulders come down away from the ears. I want you to lower the heart, round the back. Keep pulling on the strap with your arms. Lift the heart. Draw the shoulder blades down. Lift the head. Round the back, lower head. Lift the heart. Shoulder blades down the back. Lift the head. Round down again. Lift up to neutral. We're going to do forward and back. Deep breath. Exhale, flat back comes forward. The hands are not moving. Inhale, back up to L shape. Exhale, forward with the torso. Roll onto the front of the sit bones. Come back up on your inhale. Exhaling forward. Do them at your own pace. Try and keep them slow. Forward and hold for a moment. Breathe. Try not to lock the knees down. Keep them bent. And relax the hands. Relax the legs. Relax the torso. Draw the knees in. And I want you to gently roll yourself back onto the floor. Make sure you keep the strap nearby. Practicing our rolling down, pulling the feet in as far as we can, lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Ponytail. Drawing the knees up and rolling, or if you prefer to flop, you can flop. Massaging the back a little bit, the hips. My back needs massage from moving, lifting, reaching. Put both feet on the floor, and I want you to lasso your right foot. Taking the right foot in the air, have it balance right over the hip joint. And I want you to bend the knee, and then I want you to straighten as much as you can without locking it. So just alternate between bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Not a huge bend. You're not drawing it all the way in. You're just bending it to where the back of your thigh feels like it's relaxed and it's not being pulled tight. And then you're pressing it straight and you feel the back of the thigh engage and it feels tight if you felt it with your fingers. Bend and straighten. Without locking the knee, remember, bend and straighten. And straighten and hold without locking the knee. Relax the glutes. Use the arm to hold it up there. From the hip joint, the entire leg is going to rotate so the toes go out. Then bring it back to center. Entire leg rotates inward ever so slightly. Bring it back to center. Straighten out the left leg. Engage so that the toes face the ceiling. You're going to switch your strap from your right hand to your left hand. I want you to bring your right hand off to the side, palm up, or you can do cactus if you prefer. Draw your belly in. Slowly take that leg across midline. If you want to roll all the way over, you can. Engage your glutes, roll your hips over to the left side. If you just want to go across midline and stop, you can. Whichever your body's ready to do today. Breathe. You ever roll over in any of these positions and your body's like, you need to pee? Because that just happened to me. Slowly roll yourself back as far as you need to. Stack over the top. Switch your strap from the right hand or from the left hand back to the right hand. And then open it up to the outside. Use your right elbow as a kickstand. Keep a micro bend in your knee. Keep your foot flexed. Squeeze through your butt. So you're not hanging out in your hip joint. If you just let that leg go completely lax, then you're really just hanging out in the hip, in the joint itself, and that's bad for the joint. You have to have a little bit of engagement of the muscles to keep the ligaments from, they're like really strong rubber bands. If you pull them too far, they pop. So you don't want them to go with all that weight of the leg out there. Slowly draw it back up. Use your arms to pull it up. Again, those ligaments are stretched pretty tight when it's out there. So you don't want to try to then now engage the muscle. All right, bend the knee, switch feet in the air. Left foot comes in. Right foot goes to the floor. We start with our right knee in the air, remember? Realign your hips if they got a little out of whack. Bring your left foot over the left hip, and you're going to bend and straighten. Bending in so the back of the thigh releases completely and is nice and soft. You can feel around on those muscles, and they feel fairly soft. Straighten and feel the back of that thigh right down the center. You find the center of your knee, right down the center of that thigh. As you straighten, that gets nice and tight right there. So bend, relax it, and straighten. And bend and straighten. Bending and straightening, warming up that muscle. Straighten and hold with a micro bend of the knee. Flex through the foot. I want you to switch your strap from your left hand to your right hand. And I want you to straighten out. Oh, no, we're going to do this first. Sorry. Keep your hands the way they were. We got to rotate first. But it's flex softly. We're from the base of the hip. The whole leg is going to rotate toes out. Almost forgot. Very important part. Rotate toes back to neutral. Then rotate slightly inward. It's very, very slight. Doesn't have to be very far to get the benefit. And then rotate back to neutral. Straighten out the right leg with a flexed foot. Take the strap in the right hand. Take the left arm out to the side at shoulder level or go to cactus, whichever is more comfortable. And you're going to take it either across midline just a little bit, get the outer thigh stretch, T-band, or you're going to engage through the glutes, down the thighs, and you're going to allow the whole body to roll. So you take your left leg over to the right side. Your right leg is out straight beneath you. Breathe. Listen to your body. Whichever one it wants to try today, whichever one it needs. Slowly bring yourself back so the foot is nestled right up over the hip joint. Change your strap back to your left hand. Open up out to the side, to the left side. Micro bend in the knee, kickstand with the left elbow. Engage the glutes, flex the feet. Engage the thigh, allowing that joint to be supported, yet stretched. Find your breath. Find your comfort in this uncomfortable position. Think to yourself, find the spot that you can tell yourself, yeah, I can do this a little bit longer, but I don't want to do it all day. Don't want to do it for an hour, but I can do it for 30 more seconds, right? You want to be kind of in that zone. Slowly draw it back up. Knee over or ankle over hip. Bend your knee, release the strap. Both feet flat on the floor. Feet are hip width apart. Hands, I want you to put your hands on your ASIS bone. So that's the front hip bone that you can feel. Been known to call that your headlight bone. Known to face directly to the ceiling. And I want you to rock your hips forward and back. So forward means you would be rocking the bone up into the palm of your hand, and back means you would be rocking that low back flat against the mat. So rocking forward and back with the hip. Utilizing the glutes, utilizing the belly, trying not to utilize the low back. The funny thing about that is when you rock forward into your palms, your low back wants to squeeze and push it up. Try and relax that low back and push with the belly muscle. Like if you're trying to pretend that you've got a big fat belly, you're trying to pretend that maybe you have a little pooch there and you're making that bigger. You're really using that low belly to push and make that bigger. Using that muscle, that low belly muscle to push. Rocking those hips back and forth. You're having trouble disengaging the low back muscles, try setting your hips at neutral. Push the belly forward and imagine that marionette string is attached to your low belly, somewhere halfway between your pubic bone and your belly button. Imagine that marionette string is pulling up with your low belly. And use that low belly muscle to, like, you do not want to pull up, so you're trying to draw against it. Try to see if that helps with the low back not engaging. So instead of a smooth rock forward and back, pause at neutral, push the belly up forward first, and then reach with the belly skin towards the ceiling. Then relax and roll onto the back. Pause in the middle, pooch the belly way up. Relax and roll to the back. We're rolling to the back with the glute, giving your belly a break. And release. Prepare yourself for Shavasana, whatever that is going to look like for you today. Using your pillows and your blankets and your eye masks, jackets, whatever that may be. Finding your position, doing some intuitive movements. You may feel like you need an extra little twist or an extra little stretch. Get all your creature comforts together. And then come into your breath. Come into the rise and fall of your chest. Come into the softness of your face, the jaw, the throat. The softness of the shoulders relaxed onto the mat. the softness of the hips, the knees, and the feet. Just imagine that your body's soft like a cloud, pillowy, supported on the floor. Bring your awareness to the crown of your head and imagine each hair follicle relaxing and releasing the scalp, relaxing through the forehead, down over the eyes, the ears, right in front of the ears where the jaw bones meet. Open and close your mouth. Relaxing down around the back of your neck, right where your head is attached. Relax the neck from the front around to the back, both sides. Relax through your shoulders, the top of your shoulder, the attachment point of your arms, upper back into the shoulder blades. The front where the clavicles meet at the throat. Feel the shoulder girdle. Relax the front of the chest, down each individual rib attached to the breastbone. Relax down the upper back, down each individual rib attached to the spine. Continue all the way down the spine and the low back, into your sacrum, into your tailbone. Relaxing on either side of the spine, from the top of your shoulder all the way down to the glute on the right side. From the top of the shoulder all the way down to the glute on the left side. Relax the belly. Feel the muscles of the belly attached to the spine and wrapping around to the front, supporting the organs, letting them melt. At this moment, they are not needed for support. Relaxing through the glutes. Relaxing the attachment point of your thigh in the back of your leg, right under your glute, all the way to the back of the knee. Relaxing that hamstring muscle. Relaxing the front of your thigh deep into the front of your hip, all the way up to the knee. Imagine the knee open and spacious. Relaxing the back of your calf from right back behind your knee all the way down to your Achilles tendon. Relaxing the shin, down into your ankle and all the little bones of the ankle. Feeling that Achilles tendon attached in your heel and all the way up the sole of your foot. As that small tendon curls up underneath your heel, it opens up and splays to each toe, reminding me of a spatula, a muscle tendon fascia shaped like a spatula, supporting all the toes and the forefoot. Relaxing through the tops of the feet. How does your body feel? How do your feet feel? How do your hands feel? Your spine, your knees, your elbows, your shoulders, your hips, your head, your heart, your mind. Drawing your awareness away from your body for just a brief moment, I want you to imagine a spherical ball floating before you. If you've ever seen one of those science balls, it looks like there's lightning in it. And when you put your hand to it, the lightning attracts itself to your hand, to your palm. Imagine this spherical ball full of energy kind of rolling in front of you, rolling in circles, side to side, just spinning and rolling. Energy bound in a spherical shape, lightly glowing soft light, mesmerizing to the eye, calming to the mind, calming to the heart. Imagine that ball just spins and turns. The ball's a slightly bit cloudy. You can't quite see all the way through it, as if there are little clouds changing and floating as it spins and turns. Continuing to imagine this ball just floating before you, not attached to anything, no tables, no strings, no hands, just floating and spinning and whirring around. Imagine that this ball creates its own wind, spinning and turning, and you can feel the energy of that wind slightly on your body. Feel the little blows and wisps, the little air spinning and turning, seeing the lightning, seeing the colors. What is your ball filled with? Energy moving and spinning. And I want you to imagine in your mind that you were to put your hands to either side, not touching this spherical ball, but just an inch away and feeling the heat generated from the energy. And then ever so slowly bringing your palms together, feeling that movement just barely underneath the palms. Close the palms on the ball and make it stop. Feel as though that energy just completely drains. Imagining the lights are gone, the clouds, the breeze, and you're left holding a very light, clear glass ball. What does this ball represent? to you. Maybe that ball originally could represent the chaos of life, spinning and turning, not in your control, the chaos of the world, the chaos of government, the chaos of family, or maybe that didn't represent chaos at all. Maybe it represented life and how life goes on, life moves, life's always moving, time is always moving. Whatever your ball represents, when you stopped that ball, how did it make you feel? Did it make you feel empty, anxious, sad? Sometimes we want something that once we get it, we don't want anymore. We want time to slow down. We want things to stop and to be still. And then what are we left with? I want you to gently release the ball. Let the ball continue to spin. And this time, as it spins and turns, has your perspective changed? Can it be okay to let that chaos be out of your control? Can it be okay to separate yourself from it once in a while so you can gain a new perspective? Can it be okay to turn off the TV for a day or a week, to not immerse yourself in the chaos of the world, of the community, of the government, of family? Allow yourself to be okay separating from the chaos, catching your breath, taking care of the mind and body before you go back in if you choose to go back in. You don't always have to be separated from the chaos, but you can be the stability within the chaos. You take a moment to separate and regroup, allowing that ball to spin, allowing it to move out of vision, allowing yourself to feel your body on the floor, feel the back of your head, the hips and shoulders, the hands, the feet. Take a nice deep breath. Open your mouth and audibly release it. Feel your body come back into yourself. Start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, roll the wrists, ankles, knees, elbows, hips, shoulders, head. Create movement with each and every muscle, each and every joint, allowing the body to wake back up. Draw one knee in at a time into your chest. Roll for a moment or just sit still. And when you're ready, roll over onto your side, stacking shoulders, hips, and knees. Support your head. Take a moment, let gravity transition to the side body. Set your intention for the day. Is today a day to be outside the chaos and regroup? Or are you ready to step back in today? Ready to tackle a project? Ready to see something from a different perspective? What is your body telling you? What is your mind ready for? What is your heart ready for? Gently press yourself up into a seated position. Finding a comfortable seat, either leg cross or legs out in front. Relax your hands in your lap, palms down. Press into your thighs, lengthen through your crown, draw your belly in. Lift your heart up to the chin, draw your shoulders down your back, lift your chin to the ceiling. Keep your torso posture and take your chin down to the chest. Lifting the chin up, heart remains up. Lifting the chin down, heart remains up. Bring the chin back to neutral, turn it side to side. Keep your lower body posture, shoulder blades together, big no motion. Head face forward, relax your shoulders, roll them forward, up, back, and down. Couple of big rolls. Other direction, back up, forward. Using our arms for breath. Nice deep breath, gather air. Exhale, press away. Big breath, inhale up, nice and soft. Hands come together overhead. Exhale them down to your chest as you flutter open. And namaste.